Hello friends, hi. It is Tuesday, which means it's Technique Tuesday. Today is April 1st. Interestingly, today is the day my parents, well not today obviously, but many years ago is the day my parents got married. And I think a lot of people thought getting married on April Fool's Day might not be a very good idea, but it turned out to be a great idea for them. So that doesn't follow that just because something happens on April 1st that it's a problem. How is everyone today? Hey, Kerry, nice to see you here. Hello, Marilyn. I think you were the first in today. And then we have Lorraine here. Hello. And we also have Barbara. Hello, hello. Nicole is here. Janine is here. Hello, all the way from Colorado. We tend to get more of the North American girls on in this time slot because it's not quite as late for you guys. It's still late, but it's not as bad as my 7:30 in the evening ones that for you guys are the middle of the night. So, oh, it's a glorious day in Melbourne. Good to know. It is actually, the sun's just coming out even as I speak. You might have seen the light suddenly get bright on my face. So it's been overcast all morning and no sun, and it's literally just come out. So there you go. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you from Las Vegas. I'm hoping to make it to Las Vegas in November. I really hope I can. I don't know yet whether it's going to be in the realm of possibility for us, but I'm hoping that that's going to work out. Oh, you got your new catalog today, Janine. That'll keep you busy for a while. That's great. So for demonstrators who are wondering, when do we get our new complimentary catalog? Because all demonstrators get a complimentary catalog. You get it with your first order that you place from now. Okay, they used to just mail them out to everyone, but mailing out 44,000 plus catalogs via post is an extremely expensive exercise, as you would appreciate. Now they're sending them out with the first order that you place after the pre-order starts, which was the 25th of last month. So I've already got mine, and I bought a couple of extra boxes as well for customers that I'm going to see in person. But I'm sure some of you girls are getting your new catalogs too. And it is a beautiful, beautiful catalog. What did I do with my catalog? Oh, here it is. This is what it looks like this. It's really lovely. So this is the cover, obviously, I'm showing you. This one runs from May 6th. So just bear in mind, it's from the 6th of May until, well, this says April 2026. We'll know the exact date later. It actually says on the back, does it have a date? Oh, actually on the back, even though it says to April, on the back it says the 4th of May 2026. Okay, so from the 6th of May this year until the 4th of May next year. That's this one. Okay, I'm just going to scroll through and see if I've missed any questions. Or hello, Jen, nice to see you. Here for another Technique Tuesday. Hello, Sue, nice to have you with me. Barbara's here. Lorraine again. If I missed anyone's names, hello, Leslie, how are you? And both Leslies came in at the same time. Leslie Annabelle and Leslie Smith. Hello, Marty, nice to see you. Julie, hello, Joan. All right, I think I'm not going to be able to get through all the names. Hello, Marie, how are you? All right, so I'm going to launch in because we're going to get started. This week I thought I would do something I haven't done yet. I mean, I could have done it a while ago, but we're going to be talking about two-tone cardstock today because there's a number of things you can do with two-tone cardstock. You might have seen them before, but of course I'll try and make at least one, if not a couple of cards with some different effects that you can get with your two-tone cardstock. I think some people have probably missed the whole two-tone cardstock thing because it comes only in 12 by 12 size. And so that means that a lot of people probably avoid it because they think, well, that's just for the scrapbookers. But I have to tell you, it's not just for scrapbookers. You can make perfectly good cards with two-tone cardstock, and there's a lot of different things you can do with it. I'm so sorry I've missed. I think it is a clever idea too, Leslie. That's right. Yep, exactly. What is good for Stampin' Up! Is also good for us. We want our company to stay healthy and stay in business. So I very much support anything that helps them do business better and cut costs. That's great. And we still get the best quality in our fabulous coordinated products. So I have no problems with catalog going out in the first order at all. Hello, Ellen. Nice to see you. Well, actually, I'm not seeing you. I can see that you're here. You can see me. That's not fair, is it? You can see me, but I can't see you. but that's just how it goes. Unless we do Zooms. Then when we do Zooms, we can everyone see each other. So that's cool. Hey, Jeanette, nice to see you. All right, let's get going. I'm going to switch over to the desk. So, all right. So, as I mentioned, we have our annual catalogue starting to hit people's mailboxes now in their orders. Okay. If you are a customer, not a demonstrator, you'll need to wait until your demonstrator gets the catalogues out to you. Now, if what I do, I hand deliver some of my, close by customers or people I'm going to see at classes. I give them a copy, like physically giving them a copy. But for people that live further away and I need to mail them, for these catalogues, I get Stampin' Up to handle the mailing. Okay, what that means is Stampin' Up uses a mailing house. I go through and I select all the customers that I would like to get one in the mail, and then Stampin' Up looks after the mailing. So that means I lose control about when they go out. Okay, they have to go out when the mailing house organises them. We had to have the mailing organised, like who we wanted them to go to by the 31st of March, by yesterday. That was the last day. And that means that now it's over to them. It's in their hands. So I don't know quite when you're going to get them. I'd like to think you'll get them before the end of April, but I don't know exactly when that will happen. Okay, so just bear that in mind, that I do not control when those ones in the mail are going to get to your mailboxes. All right. Okay, so let's talk about two-tone cardstock. What's the point of two-tone cardstock? If anyone has any questions about two-tone cardstock, just let me know. I can tell you that two-tone cardstock only comes in 12 by 12 size. Okay, so this was introduced last year, some two-tone cardstock, and we first saw it popping up in our scrapbooking kits. Okay, so this is a scrapbooking kit in its entirety. It's a brand new one. I haven't opened this one yet. And we went through, if anyone's interested in the kits, I'm not going to go through everything in here today because I've been doing scrapbooking spotlight videos, and this is the one I did last month, beginning of March. You can go back and watch that one, the scrapbooking spotlight video, if you'd like to see what I did with it. I can show you, I'll show you the page that I ended up doing. But if you want to see how I did it, you'll need to go check out that video. This is the page that I did. It's almost, the 12 by 12 pages almost don't fit in my screen. I might need to scroll out a little bit just so you can see. If I need to scroll out, someone can request that, but I'm trying to get everything important there so you can see it in the picture. Is the two-tone cardstock the same weight as RA4? No, it is a lighter weight paper. Now, if you're a scrapbooker, that's great because it means that your albums, in my opinion, because your albums aren't as bulky, and I think that's a good thing. However, if you're using it for card making, I wouldn't be using this for card bases because it's definitely thinner, but I might use it for layers on top. Okay, so I feel like it's completely fine for layering, but not so much for a base. So I would use regular cardstock weight, RA4. Cardstock weight I would be using for bases quite happily, but the two-tone probably not so much. That is a personal opinion. So if you wanted to use it for a base, I'm not going to stop you, but personally I think it's a little light. Does that answer your question? Oh, and Cherie said that Julie has a question. Thank you. Hello, Cherie. Nice to see you. Let me go back up. Is the two-tone the same thickness as the A4? Oh, well, there you go. Leslie asked the same question. Sorry, maybe Leslie was repeating your question, Julie. Did that answer your question, what I just said? So I hope that does answer that question. So why is it called two-tone? Because it is different colors front and back. Okay, so let me grab a piece that I think might be a little more obvious. This is a piece of Cajun Craze. Okay, and when you turn it over, can you see that the color between the two is different? Okay, so one side is darker. The darker side is more like the regular cardstock and like the inks. This is the actual color. The lighter side is a tone, like toned down a little bit, and that's your second tone. Okay, so your main tone is the darker one, and the lighter tone is the second tone. Now, I saw somebody talking the other day about the fact that the cardstock, the two-tone cardstock is kind of like two different colors of blends. In fact, that's not a good example. Let me find one that's a better example. I don't have Cajun Craze. Do we even have Cajun Craze blends? If we do, I don't have them. So I probably should have picked a color out that I actually own. Well, here we go. Let's pick a different color. let's pick, do I have pecan pie? I think I do. Yeah, here we go. Here's pecan pie. Okay, and here's pecan pie two-tone. All right, so you can see the lighter on one side than the other. Can you see that? All right, so immediately, if you're getting a scrapbook pack where you get, and the reason, I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry, guys. If you get a pack like this, and I'm just going to pull out the two-tone cardstock. All right, so that is almost all of it. There we go. There's some two-tone cardstock in here, in the pack, okay? And so you can buy these packs by themselves. Don't want those. You can buy these. So we've got white, we've got pool party, we've got old olive, and we've got bubble bath. Okay, they're the colours in this. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because this is what you would get, and this is how we first kind of got introduced to the two-tone cardstock, because they started showing up in the workshop kits. Okay, but when you look at these, this is like each one a little bit lighter on the other side. Can you see that? And so it's effectively, okay, you might think, well, I get white and 3 colors in this pack, but effectively you're getting 6 colors, aren't you? Because you're getting the white is the same color front and back. Okay, you don't have a white and a light white, but these ones, you're getting a second tone. So it's like effectively you're doubling the amount of color that you have in your selection. So it's rather cool. And of course they're going to go together because they're just like a watered down or lighter version of the same color. All right, so I'm going to pop that back in there. You're very welcome, Julie. No troubles at all. Okay, so what was that about? Oh, we don't have Cajun blends. Well, there you go. See, I feel better now. That's why I don't have them. That makes sense, right? All right, so let me just quickly pull out this pecan pie pick that I started to talk about. And I'm going to grab a scrap of paper. Let's just grab some basic white. Just a piece here. All right, and I'm going to use just this is the dark, and this is the light. They're not a lot different, but this one is darker than this, just a little bit. Okay, so this darker side, yeah, this darker side is much more like this one, and then the lighter side is much more like this one. It's still a little bit darker than how the color ends up, but yeah. So if you think of it like blends, dark and light version of the same color, that's what the paper's like. Okay, and like I said, it's quite a thin weight, so you absolutely can use it for layering, but I would avoid it for bases. All right, does that make sense to everybody? So if you think about it in terms of the blends colors, I think it helps you visualize what your colors are going to be like, dark and light. Nicole said she wouldn't use two-tone for ornament bases, but would use it for the outer decorations. True. It would be perfect for intricate frame style dies and paper piecing. Yes, indeed. That is true. That is true. All right. So if anyone has more questions, if I miss them, I'm sure someone will bring it to my attention. Now, the thing I do want to tell you is that the last chance list came out today here in Australia. And for the North American market and Europeans, it'll be out tomorrow. Actually, it's probably today for the Europeans now too. It would be very early in the day over there. But what you can see, if you go into the store and you're looking for 12 by 12 cardstock, all the assorted packs, like the subtles, the regals, the neutrals, and the brights, those are on last chance. Okay, because those assorted packs are going away. And instead of the assorted packs, we're now going to have two-tone cardstock like this in every single color. That is fantastic news for those of us who run scrapbook classes and for those of us who scrapbook, because one of the big challenges over the years has always been about having enough of a particular color to be able to use it for a class. And because the packs, let me grab one. Let me just quickly grab out a pack. All right, so this is almost a complete pack, almost bar one page. I think I took a page out of it. All right, so this is the subtles, okay? This is what's retiring, these assorted packs. Does everyone realize that? Was there anyone who didn't realize that all the assorted packs were going? Okay. Oh, it's 2 minutes past midnight. Oh, you're talking about when you got your order in. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you'll get that this week. I'm almost certain, Leslie. I think shipping is pretty much up to date at the moment. Okay, so this is how the paper currently comes. Okay, now this is not two-tone. This is the regular 12 by 12 paper that we've had for years and years and years, and you get 2 sheets of each, like 2 of the soft what's that called? Soft seafoam, and then we have 2 of the petal pink, and we have 2 of the, what color is that? Oh, is that color even still around? I don't think it is. Look, this is an older pack, so just ignore those. I'm showing you colors that no longer exist. Oh, look, 2 pieces of Pool Party. Those are current. No, not going to look at that one. Not going. Oh, no, not looking at that one. So I really need to go through and throw out all these sorts of things. That 2 pieces of Calypso Coral. That's correct, and Highland Heather. So that was, oh, that's okay. I'm glad if you didn't know. Now you do, Maggie. Joan said she didn't know either. Okay, so these are going because we will no longer have cardstock that is dyed all the way through cardstock like we currently have in 12 by 12s, and we won't have assorted packs. We'll only have single color packs of all the colors except, okay, now I've said that there's a couple of exceptions, and I'm just going to tell you, if you have a new catalog and you want to turn with me to page 137. If you don't have the new catalog yet, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. If you're a demonstrator, it's coming when you place your next order. And if you're a customer, you need to speak to your demonstrator to make sure they're sending you one. So, okay. So they have on page 137 a color collections page that's got like packs of 12 by 12 paper and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's, well, that there's several pages of color collections, but on that 137 are the basics, and you can see that there is 12 by 12 cardstock, okay, in basic black and crumb cake that will be available for $39. Remember, all the cardstock is going up in this new catalog, so you'll be able to get crumb cake as a solid color. This is not two-tone cardstock, and you'll be able to get black as a solid color. Those 2 will be available, and white, but white will be cheaper. Okay, so the white, it's not two-tone, but it will be available for $17.50 for 12 sheets. All right, so I think that's a really good thing to note. Then the thick cardstock, 12 by 12, you'll be able to get that in basic white. Okay, so the white willow, which is not two-tone, will be available for $17.50, and white, the basic white thick, will be available for $46 for a pack of basic white. Okay, so just bear in mind. Oh, and the other thing you'll be able to get in two-tone, which is only on this page and not elsewhere, is basic beige and very vanilla. So we're going to have basic beige in 12 by 12, which I'm very excited about because basic beige is a fantastic color that goes with nearly everything. Does that make sense, what I'm talking about here? Does anyone have any questions about any of this? They'll still have letter size cardstock in single color packs. Yes, they sure will, Janine. Yep, that's true. So A4 color family packs are staying as far as I know. Let me double check that because I haven't, but I just assumed they were. Anyone want to? I probably should have checked that before I started. Yeah. Yes, they are. Yep, they are still available, the A4 pages. Okay, so it's just the 12 by 12s that are going away. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to make this as clear as I can for everybody so you all know what's going on. Okay, so we've kind of looked at a few things. Now I want to take you through a few different ways to use your cardstock, okay, your two-tone cardstock, some things you can do with it. All right, so the first thing to note is that two-tone cardstock is white in the middle, okay, so it has the 2 different sides. So the outside is dyed, but it's white in the middle. All right, so when I rip it, as you can see, I've already ripped a piece here. I'm going to just start again, and I rip it towards myself like this. So if I want this is the lighter side, this is the darker side. I like to, most of the time, not 100%, but most of the time, I like to use the darker side and rip towards myself because the white shows up a little bit better against that darker side than it does against the lighter side. Okay, you get better contrast. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to rip that off there. And I'll start with that. And then this is a piece of Lost Lagoon. And you're thinking, well, hang on, Lost Lagoon isn't available yet as a two-tone color pack. No, because it was in one of our It was in the Everyday You and Me scrapbooking workshop kit. So this is where I got that from. So I have a lot of colors because I've had a lot of the different workshop kits. Bear in mind that some of the workshop kits that we currently have, if I haven't checked if all of them, but I know at least some of them are going away. So this Everyday You and Me is no longer going to be around. Okay, I'm going to do the other side as well. Actually, do I? No, I think I only need to do one side. Okay, so what I wanted to do here was to put this on this piece of, I've got a piece of Pretty Peacock. This is just normal Pretty Peacock, not the, not two-tone. And then I wanted to put a couple of different pieces under here so that you'll see that lovely side. And I was thinking, how nice is that? It kind of looks like an ocean with you know, choppy, wavy seas on top. And you could have those going closer together if we wanted to. Be kind of nice. So you could create a really nice seascape by having like some white edges, like white caps on the top of your waves there, which would look really nice. Don't you think that would look good? So let's glue it down and see. I'm just gonna pop that down there like that, like so, and then this one down across here. Might as well put it on here actually. So do you guys see what I'm trying to do here? I'm just trying to create the impression of waves just with my paper. Okay, now I could then turn that over and chop off the excess to keep my panel edges straight. And then we could add a boat. We have that lovely new sailboat set coming in the online exclusive next month, and really, really like it. I haven't got that one yet. Now, have I missed any questions? Because I'm looking. Where's your money tree? I don't know the answer, Nicole. Or it's and. I see not or sugar daddy, it's and. We need both, right? And Cherie's got an answer for that. You have to go find another one, she said. Yeah, white and cream together do actually look really good. And you could throw some gold in with those and it looks fabulous. Isn't that always the way, Cherie? Yeah, I get it. All right, so this is just like, you know, if I wanted to put, I don't know, have we still got that punch with the sailboat, or is that gone? I can't remember if it's current or not. And do I even still have it? I think it's gone. I think it's gone. But, you know, I could easily add a sailboat to this and we could do some fun things with the sky. So just wanted to show you what that would look like, okay, if you were doing that. You just received the yacht set. Would look good with this kind of a thing, isn't it? Yeah, I thought the punch is gone. I thought so. Yeah. That's why it's not in my drawer, because I've actually been up to date and have got that sorted. Now, the next way that I like to, and let me show you a card I've made with this already. The next way that I like to do it is to emboss, like dry emboss my two-tone cardstock and then sand off the surface to make a really great card. All right, I am going to show you a card, but I'm going to show you first what I did. So I've actually got a brand new embossing folder here. This one is called the Damask embossing folder. Can you see that? It's got these lovely little damask designs on it. It looks a bit like wallpaper to me. I love that effect. And I have already gone ahead and run that through, and you can see how nice it is. All right, now don't forget I'm only using a fairly light color. Pool Party's not very dark, but I mean, you can see this is how it would look with any kind of cardstock. It looks lovely, just run through, right? Now, what we want to do is we want to get, excuse me, I felt that coming, but there was nothing I could do to stop it. Sorry about that. All right, so you want to get yourself a sanding block. Okay, now we used to sell these sanding blocks, these Stampin' Up ones, and then we, oh, thank you for the blessings. You know, we don't sell them anymore, but you can run down to Bunnings and get yourself a sanding block if you want to do this. My suggestion is that you get one with the finest grade sandpaper you can find, because if it's too chunky, if it's too heavy, you're going to take the surface completely off and ruin the whole effect. So you want a very fine grade sandpaper like these ones. These were great actually, because you could just put them on and off and they velcroed on, and I really, really like them. We also used to sell those little, some of you might still have them. They look like a bit like a nail buffer, the white rectangular ones, the long ones, those ones. I think this is lovely, Judy. It's a really nice one. Thanks, Kathleen, and thanks, Leslie. I got lots of blessings, and Judy too. All right, so and Cherie said you could also use a wide nail file for false nails. Yes, you could. You can use a nail file as well, but you want something that's very you want very fine, sandpapery kind of an effect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep this flat on the table, and I'm just literally going to go round and round and round, or you can move it from one side to the other. Obviously, the harder you press, the more you're going to take off. And I don't want to take off too much at once because I want to be gentle with it, so I don't want to rip my paper. Okay, so, and I only want it to be on those raised bits. And the nice thing about this, there's a little dot in between each one. Can you see how nice this looks straight away? Straight away. So down this end, I haven't done this corner yet. All right, but see how nice it's looking up this end where the white is. So it's taking that top layer off the paper and leaving us with that white core, and that's why it looks so good. Obviously, the darker the color of the paper, the more contrast you're going to have. So keep going until you're satisfied with how it's looking. If there's any pieces that look like they need to be sanded back a little more, keep going. All right. It's looking really nice. Doesn't it look pretty? Isn't it so nice? It's just lovely. All right. So there's a couple of things I can tell you about this. First of all, it feels like suede. Like it's lovely. It's a lovely soft feeling to it. So it's very tactile. So not only do you get a nice look, but you get a nice feel as well. Okay, which is lovely. Oh, hey Lani, how are you? All right, so that's what this looks like. And I was going to make you a card to show you how to do it, but instead I'm going to show you a card I've already made, and this is with new product. So, mostly with new product. So I have used the same effect. Okay, can you see this? And I made this card a couple of days ago. If I have time, we might play around and I could have another go at it, but I was going to show you something different today. But this is using all new stuff. So this is the damask embossing folder in the background on that pool party paper. This is the only thing that's not new. This is from the ephemera pack. What's it called? Greetings for All. This one with the black greetings, and you can see where I pulled that thank you out right there. There's 2 pages of that. Then there's white with black lettering, and there's 6 sheets altogether. Okay, so really, these are great, especially if you don't want to take the time to actually emboss white on black paper and you don't have time for that. You've got them ready to go. So really nice. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like the card. Yeah, the card turned out great. So I've actually used some new product. Let me show you. I used the beautiful motifs dies. I used this one here. So this is new, coming next month in the new catalog. This is just cut with silver. Okay, and then here in the second, no, it's not that one. It's the other pack, which is called Gallery Blooms, which is part of the same suite. I cut this. Now I used for this, and it is going into the new catalog, the wood grain specialty paper. Has everyone seen the wood grain specialty paper? It's in the current catalog, but I think it was a little bit hard to see, or a little bit hard to find. Okay, so you can see I ran this through the wood grain paper. Okay, I don't know if you can see the wood grain texture. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit hard to see. Oh, there you go. You can see it now. There you go. So it is really nice. The die is lovely. So this here, okay, cuts this frame, and then a piece out of the center. Okay, so you actually get, for one cut, you get 3 different pieces, 2 frames and a rectangle. So I really loved that, and that's what I've used. I've used the middle frame, or the smaller frame to do this frame here at the back. Okay, I put it on my damask piece. I put a piece of black behind, then use my black with my white writing. And of course, we had to use, oh, and I think it's fallen. I think I had one fall off. We had to use our black. There's meant to be another one down here. Where did it go? Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find another one. Because I don't like it when they fall off. It actually flicked off earlier, and then I can't find it now. So I'm going to pop that down here. There we go. There we go. So I just love the way this came together. It's a really simple card, but these frame dies are going to be fantastic. So you are seeing some new stuff from me today, but I'm not going to create the next card with new things. I'm going to have a little bit more of a play around. I might do another. I bought out some embossing folders too, because I wasn't sure which one you guys would like, and I pulled out a couple that I thought I'd like to work with, and then you can tell me which one you want me to use. All right, so I've got another technique here for you. This one is for people who aren't going to panic when I do the next thing. Anyone guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to screw my piece of paper up. So it's either very therapeutic to do this or horrifying. So I'm actually, and because it's a lighter weight paper, it's easier to do this with. Okay, so I've literally just screwed this piece of paper up, and I had cut it to card front size before I did this. Now I'm going to and I'm going to flatten it down, kind of, mostly. Maybe give it a bit more scrunch. Now I'm using this color on purpose, because what I'm hoping is that I'm going to get an effect that looks a bit like leather when I'm done. Okay, and pecan pie is like the perfect color for that, right? So we're going to get our sanding block in again, and this time I'm going to go over it, and what it's going to do is it's going to start taking some surface color off some of those raised pieces, and it's going to look like it's going to give us that real leather effect. So if you want to make a masculine card, remember I was saying the other night that one of the elements of a masculine card is that there should be lots of texture. This is a great way to add texture, especially if you don't have an embossing folder. I mean, how good does that look? You can have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, take out your frustrations. Exactly. Well, mine should be very, very wrinkled. That's all I would say. All right, so there you go. That's another effect that you can get with your two-tone cardstock, but doesn't it look good with this particular color? So I think most of the browns, but particularly pecan pie, gives you that real leather kind of a look, aged leather look. To get a more detailed crunch, pop the watered up ball in hot water. Ooh, didn't think of that. That is true. That's something we might have to try another time. So you can make origami snowballs with white. There you go. Well, right now they don't have two-tone white. They just have basic white and white willow. They're the two. For anyone who's wondering the difference between white willow and basic white, one is a bit more whiter than the other. And the white willow is the one that I believe is the whiter tone. So let me have a quick look at that scrapbook pack that I literally had a moment ago that I've put down somewhere. Here we go. So what's in here is the white willow paper. Let me just rub it out. So that's white willow, which is a real, I would say, a pure white. Okay, so if you want a white, like pure white, then that's the way you want to go. Then we've got basic white, which is really similar, but not exactly the same. Can you see that? I don't know, it's a bit hard to see in this light, but this has got a little bit more of a creamy tone to it. So even though I would have said white was really very white, it is ever so slightly different. Can people see that? Yes, white willow has the same color front and back as I understand it, Judy. I believe that is correct. It's not a two-tone paper. It's just it's a slightly different white to my basic white. Basic white, white willow. Okay, does this make sense, what we're doing today? I'm really wanting you guys to get all the information you can on this new paper. And I just think there's so many cool effects and things that you can get. So we've tried ripping like so. we've tried using our sanding block and going over this. Okay, we've used our sanding block over scrunched paper. I'm going to make a card now, I think. So let's pick a different embossing folder. I'm going to do an embossed one. I was thinking these are the ones I thought of today. I thought these look nice. Actually, I'm going to grab all my embossing folders and just give you a quick zip through because, and I can tell you now, this one, the Changing Leaves, in Australia, this was $70 and came with the matching dies as well. So it was like a twofer. You got the embossing folder and the dies, and they were $70. It's in the online store, Last Chance, and it's $28 for the dies and the embossing folder. If you don't have this embossing folder, can I highly recommend that you go and grab it? Because at some point, I can't imagine it's going to be around forever at that price. So definitely go and check that out if you don't have this one. It's such a beautiful embossing folder. All right, so the plaid is not retiring, and neither are the dots. The dotted circles, those are not retiring either. Okay, so there's a couple that are sticking around. Does anyone have any? So let me have a look at some others. The eyelet is sticking around. That one's going to stay. That's going to be in the new catalogue, as I understand. What was this called? What was this one called? The painted trees? I know it's going. So this one's on the Last Chance. My beloved distressed tile is on the Last Chance. I'm like, maybe I should use that today because it's like a last hurrah. Pretty sure the butterflies are staying, but I will double check. Exposed brick. I can't remember if that's staying or going. This one. Tell you what, quickly I'll look because I can do that. Is it exposed brick? Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure that's it. Yes, that is not retiring. It is sticking around. Oh, and the painted texture. That has been my favorite for years, and I have a funny feeling it might be going to go, but I need to check. Let me see. I can't even see it in the store. Maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing, or maybe I didn't spell it right. Can't see it. Anyone got an idea about that one? Interesting. Which one do you love, Sheila? The tree is painted tree 3D. Right, yeah, and it's retiring, definitely. Swirls. Ooh, these swirls. What's that called? The swirly? I think it's swirly. I'll type in the word swirl and see what comes up. SWIRLY. Swirly. Yeah, that's not retiring. It is not on Last Chance. It's called So Swirly. That's what it is. So we've got some really lovely ones, but which one are you sad that's going, Tanya? Does the sandpaper technique work on non-3D folders? Yes, absolutely. It sure does. In fact, that damask one that I just showed you, that is not a 3D folder. Okay, it's not. So it just goes through. And if you're wondering how do you put through a, okay, I'm going to move these. And we're doing a quick lesson. It is a technique class after all, right? We're going to do a very fast lesson on how to put through 3D and non-3D folders. All right, I've got my cut and emboss machine. You have to excuse my plates. They've seen better days. And I'm going to zoom out so that, because it's a bit close. So give me a second while I do that. Oh. This could be easier said than done. Let me try and come up a little bit. You get to see some of the mess on my desk too. Hey, woohoo. I challenge you. No one can have a bigger mess than what I've got right now. Okay. So normally, this is number one. Okay. Then we have number two, which is the thin die adapter. Okay. And then we put our cutting plates, which look like this because that's way overused. Okay. They still work. So, and then I've got my top layer here as well. Okay. So I've got 1, 2, and these count as 3. Okay. So when I want to put through a non-3D folder, And say, for example, the swirly folder, that's not a 3D folder. This is a standard size, okay? It's a big folder, but it's not 3D. So in order to put through a 3D folder, such as the damask, sorry, start again. In order to put through a non-3D folder, you take out the thin die adapter. You take out number 2 and then put it back together like normal, okay? So let's do this one. What color will I do? I don't know. Too many color choices. I have a lot of Pool Party paper. Maybe we use Pool Party because that's a good color. Just as a, all right, let's go. All right, I am going to cut myself some Pool Party. I'm making this up as I go along, and I'm just trying to share with you what I know about the folders and about the two-tone paper. And I hope that you'll really get inspired to do some fun things, because two-tone paper is awesome. All right, so I'm just going to cut a card front size piece of Pool Party. All right, and I'm going to use, we've got the light side and the darker side. You can tell when you put the two together which is which, okay? So I want the dark side facing up because then I'll get more contrast. I've taken out that thin die adapter, okay, and I'm going to put my swirly folder, which is not a 3D folder. I put that here in my folder here. It doesn't really matter where it goes. This pattern doesn't really matter. You don't have to line it up straight. And then I'll put the top layer on. All right, I'm going to put the whole thing through. And you'll feel it's a fair amount of pressure, but it's not hard to get through. All right. So this is your if a folder is a 3D folder, it will say so in the description, okay? But you can also tell by the feel of it if you don't have that. The feel of it is simple that, oh, I must have some glue or something inside this because it's actually, there's a bit of glue and it actually has taken the surface off that. That's not going to matter actually because I'm going to sand it anyway. So, but I must give that a clean and see why that's a bit sticky on the inside. All right, so that one's ready to go. And then you can tell the ones that are 3D because they're much thicker. You can feel it, okay? So the swirly one feels thinner and has more bend and flex, and the 3D folders are more stiff, okay? You can see. If I was to put the two next to each other, you should be able to see the difference. I don't know if you can. I can. Can you see that down here, down near my fingers here? Okay, this one is thicker. And you wouldn't think it would make that much difference, but it actually does. All right, so let's do a different color. I'm going to do, seeing as I've got this pack already open, let's use one of the pieces out of here. I'm going to use a piece of Petunia Pop, or if I wanted to do the leaves, I would probably do a pack of, like use the green. And so you can also buy packs of just two-tone in the assorted colours that match the kits as well. So this is a 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock that has Bubble Bath, Old Olive, Petunia Pop and Pool Party. All right, and this matches with my meant to be scrapbooking kit. So just having two-tone paper gives you a lot more options. And I think that's what's really cool about it. All right, so will I use the distressed tile or will I use the eyelet? They're both going to look nice. But let me cut this piece. Oh, thanks you girls. That's awesome. I'm cutting this piece to be 9.5 centimeters by 13.8, so it would fit inside a mat and then go on a card base. So that's the size that I wanted. And the question was I going to use the distressed tile or am I going to use... Yes, what Nicole's saying there, if you want to deepen your embossing folder pattern, you can spritz the back of the paper before you place it in the folder. That is correct. All right, so I'm actually going to use this distressed tile one because I love this folder and it's going to be retiring. Okay, but this time it's a 3D folder, so I need a different sandwich going through my cut and emboss machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the clear plate and only have the base plate, number 1. That's the only one we want. And at this point, we also need to grab our 3D embossing plate. And that is number 4. So you only want number 1 and number 4. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this directly onto that base plate, number 1. See that there? And then I'm just going to put number 4 on top. Number 4 is a thicker plate that makes up for the two clear plates and the thin die adapter. So it's a pretty substantial plate. This one, all of these plates come with your cut and emboss machine when you purchase it. Okay, so if you want a cut and emboss machine, you will get all the plates, the base plate, the clear plates, number 4 plate, all are going to be in there. You can buy number 4 plate later though. Okay, so you can buy any of the plates later. If like I probably might have seen better days, let's be honest. I mean, my number 1 is not too bad, but my number 2, the thin die adapter, that's awful. It really, and I need some new clear plates. Clearly, pardon the pun. All right, so let's get those out of the way. And move all these. This is now got that. Ooh, now, interestingly, when I emboss this, I don't know if you can see this. I haven't even let me bring this back down because I don't need that so far away anymore. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so can you see that we've actually started to already, just by embossing it, some of the white is already starting to come through. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? Right, but we're going to do a better job and we're going to use our sanding block. And once again, you can go around and around, or you can, kind of just push it along the surface. This is a beautiful folder, and I will miss it very much as we now find out that it's definitely retiring. Does anyone have any questions about retiring items? Because now that we know what's retiring, I mean, look at that. How nice. Isn't that beautiful? And it's called distress because not all of the pattern comes through everywhere. It's meant to look like that. It's meant to be kind of a slightly, it's distressed. That's what it is. But if that distresses you, that you don't like it not being all over, then maybe this is not the embossing folder for you, but this one might be. And of course, we've got our swirly paper here as well. Let me make sure I'm doing the right side. Yes, I am. So I could do a swirly one like this, and then that's going to give me some option to have some white. But remember, it's not going to stand out as much as this one does because I'm working with a lighter color. But it looks good. And see what I mean? That doesn't matter that I took a little bit off the top of the paper with the embossing folder because we're going to go over it again with our sanding block anyway. All right, so that's how that's looking. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, no problems, Anne. Nice to see you here. Oh, that's okay. You're late. Am I late? No, I'm not late. That's okay. You guys are late. That's okay. Oh, goodness me. Now, what's happening? People are saying me too and all that. So, oh, I know. Doesn't that happen to everybody? It's like you buy a dress and then the following week they're having a sale. It's like, really? Come on. I seem to have really good timing for all of that kind of stuff. All right. So the question is, which one will I use now to make a card? Let's make a really quick, easy card. I think that would be a nice idea. I'm thinking I might use this guy. I know, they're really lovely, aren't they? Guess you didn't spritz the bath first. Well, you don't have to. It's not a mandatory thing. All right. So I'm thinking I'm going to go something, deciding what to do here. I do like the idea of doing a frame. What have I got close by? I mean, we've got that lovely new gallery motifs. Is it gallery? Yeah, gallery blooms frame that I just showed you. That's really nice. But I want to use something that's current. So I could always go in here. I could come in here and use this frame. Let's do that. We're just going to do, and then I'll just be able to see it all the way around the outside here. So I'm actually going to cut this. Will I go with thinking? Might just cut some white, actually. I think that might look rather good. So I'm just going to pop it through my cut and emboss machine. Oh, hang on a second. Did I leave? I left part of my cut and emboss machine bits and pieces over here. So you can't, if you haven't got all the cut and emboss machine bits, you can't do what you want to do, can you? Right. Right, so I'm going to cut this. Now, if you have a piece of like a rectangle that's a little bit bigger than the piece you're cutting, you can actually do a frame that way as well. So I didn't really mean to do a frame, but that's what I ended up with because, and I'll show you why, because I cut a rectangle that was sitting here, okay, and so of course now I have a frame as well. So I could put a frame on there if I wanted, but actually I'm not going to. I'm going to do this. Beautiful. This is with the textured notes dies. These are new and I love them so much. They're just fantastic. I'm deciding what I want to pop on here. I'm thinking let's go with something easy. And will I use, I've got, like I said, I've got these fabulous things, and we could do like a black mat and have a black greeting if we wanted to. Or did you know that with these, for example, if you wanted to use this thanks here, this is nice, but you don't want it to be white because you're going to kind of lose. Let's do this. I love these ephemera packs. I just think they're so handy, right? So if I wanted to, I could grab a light color such as, have I got bubble bars? Yeah, I'm going to go with my light bubble bath, and I'm going to put down a little bit of scrap paper. Actually, do I want to use here? I do want to use a bit of scrap paper. Here we go. This will do. And I'm just going to go over it with my blend. You could also use a aqua painter and color it like with a watercolor wash or something like that. I could just do half of it if I wanted. That looks nice, but I'm actually just going to color in the whole thing. So now I have black writing on a pink background. So you don't have to use these black and white if you don't want to. You can use whatever colors you like. And I'm actually thinking maybe I will do the darker blend at the bottom just to give it like an ombre kind of an effect. Hey, didn't we do that a couple of weeks ago? I think we did. Was that last week? I think it was. The ombre techniques. So I'm just going to add a bit of darker color at the bottom. Go about halfway. There we go. That looks nice. So this is going to end up across here. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to use it today, but some of you might have seen on my VIP page. And for anyone who's interested, I'll put up the address of the VIP page for you, so that if you're in Australia, you can be part of this group. I did this. I just coloured this little white die cut yesterday with some markers. Didn't that look good? Wouldn't this look good? Look at that. That would be nice. What do you think about that? Look at that. Maybe I should use it. I should use what I've already got, right? All right, so I'm just going to pop that down. So, yeah, I didn't mean to colour it for this, but it just occurred to me because I've used Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop, and this is Petunia Pop as well. for the flowers, and I use Mossy Meadow and just regular Stampin' Write markers, okay, which I think looks really, really good. Let me just get rid of that. Oh, actually, I'll take the banner down, sorry. Go back to, yeah, I think it looks really nice. So I just need to find my Tombow. Where's your Tombow when you're looking for it? Not where you want it to be, that's for sure. So that's okay, lucky. I always have more. All right, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue. Oh, it's just starting to come out. So I'm just going to do like a few dots just to hold it in place, because it's also going to have that greeting across the middle, which will also help hold it in place. So I'm just using a few dots of glue. Let's see, how would I like that to be? About there, I think. So I'm just going to push it down so it stays. And then this is going to go across here. Looks good with the pink, doesn't it? So you can use your blends to make it whatever color you want it to be, which I think is a really cool idea. And I'm going to put one right in the middle and then one either side. I'll take the backs off. They do look good together, don't they, Marty? I agree. And that wasn't my intention. I just happened to notice it sitting here on the desk. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I could use that. Because sometimes that's what we think. You don't realize something until you go to put it together. Well, I don't anyway. So that's how my brain works. It kind of makes it up as it goes along. I'm putting some dimensionals behind here. And take the backs off those. And we're going to pop that in the middle of our piece here. So we're just trying to center it. Sometimes the easiest way to center it is to stand up, which is what I'm doing, so that I can actually make sure it gets right there in the middle. So I've got an old retiring die with a new stamp set and a current. These are current, the textured notes rectangles, and this here is current. Now I made this 9.5, which means we've got black writing here. So I could do a black. Let me just find some black. I know I have some close by. Here we go. I'm going to get a black piece to go behind, because that black writing will go nicely with the black mat. Now, if Margaret Gordon is watching today, a big hello, big shout out to you from lots of the girls here. We've all been wondering how you're doing and thinking of you. So for those who don't know, Margaret's been in hospital. So we're very glad that if she's watching this, because I've noticed she's been watching some of the replays and things after. So, but I haven't seen her here today. Oh, look. Ha, ha, ha. There's the other one. This one might be better. That's better. It's always close by, isn't it? Is this bit where we take a sip? Is that what we do? Oh, thank you. That's a really kind thing to say, Leslie. Thank you so much. Well, I just know how I feel and how I like to be shown. I'm a visual learner, and I think most of us as crafters, most of us are. So I think about how I like to learn, and then I try and pass it on in the same way. So there we go. I had no idea I was going to make that card, but I'm very happy with it. I'm just going to grab a base, a basic white thick base. And so let's cut that. So then I've got we've got a few things to show from today, haven't we? We've got show and tell. We've got some with the pool party. We've got, again, pool party, but a different embossing folder. We've got this card, and we've got that other lovely card that I made. We've got the faux leather kind of a look. We've got some white cardstock, white core cardstock coming through there to create some choppy ocean, choppy seas. And then, of course, we've got, well, my current, this is the favorite card I have made in the last week or so. So this one is using this embossing folder right here. Oh, Margaret's here. Hello, hello. Oh, cardiomyopathy. Margaret, I have to tell you, my dad was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy early in his life. Like, you know, when he was in his, I'd say, when I say early, I'm thinking how old he would have been, maybe 50s, maybe 60s. But it was a long time ago. And the last 20 years of his life, he had a pacemaker for that. And he reckoned it was the best thing, you know, he had done. He thought that was fabulous. All right, we need some bling. What bling shall we use? We could use black dots because I know that's Jodie's favorite. Have we seen Jodie today? Is she here? Where's the leaf dye from? The leaf dye, you mean this one? This is the same set as this one. Okay, that's called, let me tell you what it's called. Beautiful Motifs. And it's a brand new set that will be available in the new catalogue come May 6th. Okay, so if you're a demonstrator, you can get it now because it's in pre-order. But if you're a customer, you'll need to wait until May the 6th to get your hands on it. Cherie said you've been prancing around too much, Margaret. It would be a nice idea with the new textured paper. Linda, that's a great idea. Yes, I know the one you mean. You mean the woven textures, and you mean the one that looks like baskets. Well, yeah, like we've got several. I've got it sitting right here. Look at that. That one and this one. They are really nice together, aren't they? So you've got this lovely texture going on with all the basket weavy kind of, and then you've got this baskets. I think that one looks really good with it. What do you think? Those are really great. All brought on by stress. Yes, Margaret, I understand. I think that is true. No, Jodie's not here. So somebody else will have to advise me on what bling to use on this card. I'm thinking something shiny. Let's do, I know, let's do the shimmer gems, the in-color shimmer gems. We could either go with the, that's these. Hang on, let me find some that have pretty in pink. Okay, so these, so we've got Petunia Pop and we've also got Pretty in Pink. Which one do you think would look better? The darker, the Petunia Pop, or the Pretty in Pink? I'm thinking one of those two. These are going to be retiring too, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they're on the retiring list. I know stress really does cause so many illnesses, and that's why we've all got to manage our stress better than we do. I don't know which one looks better. Oh, everyone's saying Petunia Pop. Yes, okay. All right, you guys have told me. I'm hearing Petunia Pop more than I'm hearing the others. I think they both look good though. All right, so let's go. Let's have one down here, Petunia Pop, and I'm going to go with two little guys up here in the corner. I like two together quite often. I did that here too, see? I think it's a nice look. There we go. What do we think? Do we like the card? I'm looking at all your comments. Sometimes I don't always understand everything everyone says, all you know, when I'm trying to look through quickly, and then later I go back and read them and go, oh, now I see what they meant. Sometimes that happens. All right, so there's the two cards I have to show you today. This one I pre-made with this beautiful embossing folder, and this one I made while we were live. Two very different cards, but I think they both turned out really beautiful, and they wouldn't look nearly as nice if we didn't have the white core of that two-tone cardstock showing through. I just think that makes all the difference to these cards. I mean, they still would have been nice, but that makes them really, really special. Oh, I'm so glad you like them. You are very welcome, Margaret. If we can support you in any way, even if it's saying some prayers or even if it's telling you that we're thinking of you, you know, it's so great that we can all offer that to each other. So Very, very thankful. I know the ephemera phrases are great, Tanya, especially when you want to throw together a quick card. All right, I'm going to pop back to me so you can see me. And quickly, does anyone have any questions on anything? Did I leave anything out? So I tried to cover how you can get the two-tone paper and let you know about what's retiring with the assorted cardstock packs that we currently have. This is 12 by 12 we're talking about, okay? But also different ways you can use the two-tone paper and why two-tone paper should be on your list. Don't forget, once the new catalogue rolls around, all the two-tone paper will be available in every single Stampin' Up! Colour. Yay, that is such good news. Isn't that the best? The damask folder is beautiful. In fact, that whole bundle is beautiful. From the same folder, from the same, I'm still showing it under the camera, the same suite that has this beautiful damask embossing folder also has the leaves here and the flower here. Those are also part of that same suite. What else is part of the suite? That gorgeous paper that I showed you the other night with all those beautiful antique paintings and the wallpaper looks, that's in there as well. Also we had, I think I showed, I didn't show you the other night, but we also have the beautiful is it called distressed motif flower? They're little dots. Let me see if I've got them handy, because I did see them earlier today when I was cleaning up. I actually cleaned my desk today, you guys. I know that doesn't happen. Okay, they're these. They're called pressed flower motifs. Oh, hang on. That camera's not working because I just switched back. Can you see it? This is how they look. They're like brass. Really, really pretty. They're part of the same suite. All right. And then the two stamp sets that I showed you, the beautiful motifs and the gallery blooms and the matching dies to these. All right. So that's it's a mega suite. That one is coming on the 6th of May. You can buy the whole suite, but if you only want to pick and choose different bits and pieces, then you can do that as well. All right, you guys. Well, we're a little bit over time today, but I really enjoyed showing you all these beautiful things. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you will think about using two-tone cardstock in your card making and in your scrapbooking, because it's fantastic for both. All right, you guys. I will see you very soon. Back tomorrow with a scrapbooking workshop kit. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Storybook Life kit. Can't wait to show it to you. So I'll be showing you some more two-tone cardstock tomorrow, but we'll actually be making a scrapbook page. All right. See you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.